we all had to go and speak at the grand jury. J-Lo testified at the grand jury, as did many other people. It needs to be reopened because if that is in fact the case, she carried in and she lied to the grand jury. It needs to be reopened.
Yo, developing info about Diddy is that there's a high likelihood that the 1999 incident could be reinvestigated. And Miss Jenny from the block can barely keep it together because she helped Diddy cover up a crime. Baby, when I told y'all that this net is cast far and wide and targeting each and every fish, even I didn't think it would go that far into the waters. Everybody is going down. So in case y'all haven't noticed, Jenny from the block has been copywriting a lot of the things that have her name, and she's also getting people suspended, and others have reported getting strikes on their content after mentioning her. So I know you know who we are talking about, and for the purpose of this video, we are just going to be calling her Jay, okay? I mean, the only reason why she could be adding copyrights and getting people suspended is because she knows people are onto her for being complicit in the 1999 incident, but I don't think she will be able to do much because there have been reports that the case is being reinvestigated, and the feds are already onto her. In fact, Natanya Rubin, who was right in the middle of everything, wants the bullet fragments taken out of her face for ballistics evidence because she's happy to have the case reopened. Like, she is willing to have a doctor remove a part of the 9mm bullet in her face so that they can use it as evidence if need be for the trial, even if it will cost her her life, y'all. By now, I'm sure y'all have seen her video where Natalia is saying that she will not rest until Diddy pays for destroying her life.
Because I am the woman who he shot in the face in that 1999, December 27th, 1999, Club New York. I have told everyone ad nauseum since then, even the surgeon who did the surgery to take the bullet, I got in my face with a 9mm hollow point bullet called a cop killer. I literally have told everyone and never changed what I said. I watched him. I got pow-powed in the face. I watched him fire. I've said it all this time.
And just to break down the incident even further for you, what happened was that when Diddy and Jay were together, they once went to a nightclub called Hot Chocolate at Midtown's Club New York in December 1999. And they were there to celebrate the release of Shine's soon-to-be-released album. Based on reports, when it reached around 2:20 a.m., Diddy accidentally knocked a drink out of a patron's hand named Matthew Allen, whose street name is Scar. Scar being Scar didn't take it as an accident, so he confronted Diddy about knocking down his drink. And then here we have Diddy, who also didn't appreciate being talked down to, and because he also wanted to prove a point, Diddy reportedly threw his money at Scar like confetti. It was like he was trying to tell Scar, I can buy you several bottles to replace the one I poured. Apparently, Scar also took that as an insult, and there were also reports that said at the time that Scar threw fat rubber-banded stacks at Diddy. So now there were two men trying to prove a point, and while money was being thrown around, it was a quick payout for clubgoers as people in the club grabbed for the money. The only problem was that when the battle of the egos was going on, the conflict also quickly escalated. Rounds went off, 3 of the club's patrons were injured, and Natalia was hit right in the face. When things became dangerous, Jay and Diddy sped away in a 1999 Lincoln Navigator, but ran a red light and were pulled over by the police. Based on police reports, they were in possession of a stolen 9mm, which was found in the trunk, and they were both arrested for possession, not for the incident that had happened at the club. As a result, Jay spent the next 14 hours in a cell, and a police source said she took turns crying unintelligibly and sobbing uncontrollably. The cops also said that Jay's mother was yelling at her in Spanish, and she was really mad, and they heard her say, I told you not to get involved with him. Well, eventually the authorities figured out that Jay and Diddy were at the nightclub where the incident took place, and Shine, the rapper whose album nobody ever heard, was found to be connected with the incident and spent 9 years in jail. Basically, Sadly, Shine took the fall for the incident, but Natalia, who was hit in the face, has been saying since 1999 that Diddy's bullet was the one that got her and destroyed her life. Now, in Lil Rod's lawsuit, he said that Diddy bragged about getting away with crimes, and that he specifically bragged about being responsible for the incident in the nightclub in New York City with Shine. Rod actually said that Jay was the one who carried the bang bang into the club for Diddy and passed it to him after he got into an altercation with Scar. Interesting, right? Please note that she is the one who carried it and then handed it to Diddy. Honey, I definitely see how J-Lo carried the bang bang for Diddy. I mean, we all know that when Jay and Diddy were together, they were as tight as thieves, and there have even been reports that she was Cassied as well. Now, I don't have receipts of what Jay possibly went through when she was with Diddy, but one thing I can tell you is that Diddy was dangerously obsessive and probably forced her to carry his firearms like he did with Cassie. On being obsessive, there's actually a story that was told by Gene Deal where he said that at one time when they were at a party, Will and Jada Smith wanted to hook up with Jay.
Birthday party that I think either Matt Damien was giving for Ben Affleck. It was just a little gathering. It was at the Four Seasons. Will Smith and his sister and her husband, we were all sitting on this side of the room. Matt Damien, Ben Affleck, Jennifer Lopez, Puff, Will Smith, and Jada, and they were sitting on the other side of the room.
Apparently, once Diddy found out that they wanted to hook up with this girl, he wanted to jump Will Smith, and he requested that his bodyguards stay in case of anything.
He stood up. When he stood up, he walked and did his arm some kind of way, like, and then he went like this, you know, like that. I went over towards him. I know to go over there towards him. So I go over towards him, and he said to me, he said, yo, I think Will and Jada is trying to scoop up Jennifer. I want you to stay close because I'm going to snuff him.
About the mistreatment, I can also confirm the emotional part, because there's also a time Gene Deal said that when Diddy was with Jay, he would often leave Jay in the house to go looking for Kim Porter.
And even when he was with J-Lo, like, we'll put J-Lo in the house and he'll call and Kim wouldn't answer. And if she was out, he would ask the babysitter, you know, do you know where she at? Well, she said she was going to be here because she had Kristen at the time. You know what I mean? So now we go on where Kim is at. And if she was with somebody, he made it very uncomfortable for that person to be with, using the bodyguard.
I know, the disrespect is crazy. Jay probably knew what was going on, and she was either willing to do anything for Diddy or she was forced by him to do things. Well, she probably never expected to be dragged into the federal case, but apparently the feds are now looking into her for the 1999 incident, and they are also looking into other connections she may have had to Diddy's crimes. Like I said, Netanya is also very open to the reinvestigation, and she said in one of her recent interviews that she's sure about what happened.
I literally watched them pull out the... I've had a clear point of view. I mean, for God's sake, I got in my nose. I was facing them directly. I watched everything occur and have described it, you know, vehemently to all parties involved.
According to Netanya, at the time when the incident happened, people believed Diddy more than her. But at the time, she couldn't do anything because, one, Diddy was more powerful, and two, she was also a mother and her focus was on just getting to her kids safely. But now she feels like justice finally needs to be served, and even Jade needs to go down for her involvement and for lying in front of a jury. Reportedly, the authorities got eyes on Diddy in Miami, and the feds are talking to witness after witness, and they're corroborating everything they can, and everything past and present is on the table with Diddy right now. So that means that the feds have their eyes on Jay as well, if she hasn't been called in already. But Jay has reportedly started wiping evidence from her social media, and if word on the streets is anything to go by, she's also planning to escape. Baby, do you also want this case reopened? What are your thoughts on how Jay was involved? Should she also serve time for her participation? Drop those thoughts in the comments section below.